I love this little graphic that I've seen from time to time on renewable energy blogs and websites all over the internet. The graphic itself is kind of a testament to some kind of exclusion or a lack of knowledge on the subject of renewable energy. There's some missing elements, so I fixed the graphic. There are 8 types of renewable energy that exist. What's most interesting is that they're all very distinct and have extreme amounts of subtlety to them. The list is simple: wind, solar, hydro, tidal, geothermal, biomass, OTEC, and space power. Now, you probably heard of wind, solar, and hydro, so let's just skip those for now and rearrange the list. I like to think outside the box, so we're going to put the least known ones first. That's OTEC and space power. And tidal, geothermal, and biomass are kind of the ugly children of renewable energy, I guess you could say. I think the figure looks a lot better like this. So, first off, OTEC, Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion, is one of the coolest and greenest, most awesome concepts out there. It's pretty simple. Water at the bottom of the ocean is cold, and water on the top is, in some locations and at some times, warm. The concept is to use the temperature difference to generate energy in places like the Gulf of Mexico or any other place that seems to have high temperature water on the surface. What people usually gloss over and forget about is that water at the bottom of the ocean has nitrates and nutrients in it. And that's why in regions where upwelling in the ocean happen, they're teeming with life. So not only does the concept produce energy, it can also generate a heavy amount of carbon sequestration because algae is the most efficient form of life that can convert CO2 into O2 and sequester the carbon. There's also the concept to do aquaculture with that nitrate and those nutrients. But some test plants have proven that this concept can be done. However, the drawbacks are pretty heavy. The plants are hugely inefficient, take massive amounts of engineering to put in place, and high temperature water on the ocean is hard to find, and it moves around. The ace in the hole is space power. It's actually a fairly old idea by today's standards. Since the sun shines brighter in space, and many orbits have no night, it seems obvious that it should save us all. The sun's practically infinite energy dwarfs all other sources of power. In addition, this energy source is location independent, which means rural electrification can happen worldwide. The promises of space power are huge. However, the space community knows that the financial feasibility of the concept is extremely stark. They usually promote the concept because they want some kind of infrastructure funding. However, almost all plans rely on materials sent from Earth. The caveat to this whole concept is that it just so happens that solar panels can be made in space from materials on the moon or asteroids. Since these bodies don't sit at the bottom of this huge gravity well, it's very possible to make it profitable. And then another drawback to that, though, is that we haven't been past low Earth orbit since the 1970s. And the capital cost of a factory on the moon is still extremely high, probably in the order of hundreds of billions of dollars. The advantages of a space power system are so long that it would take days to discuss. In fact, it's what I blog about. A concept that expands the resource base of all humanity is a fairly grandiose concept, but there are many people working on it right now, and it's exactly why people in China want to go back to the moon. Practically infinite, location-independent energy and a vast expansion of other resources that don't hurt the environment. God, that's a mouthful. So just keep in mind, the next time that somebody mentions renewable energy, there's more to the concept than just wind, solar, and dams. There are some unpopular ideas that are part of the term.